every little thing that crops up and have superstitious beliefs. You know, we look at science sometimes, we look at things sometimes, and we start thinking, oh gosh, you know, it reads this. I give you a little example. You know, some time back on the Coca-Cola can, people said, no, you're not allowed to drink Coke because it says La Muhammad, La Makkah. And I was like, gosh, where does it say that? They say, no, you see, I can read clear-cut English, it says Coca-Cola. Clear-cut, with every rule of the English language, it says Coca-Cola. C-O-C-A-C-O-L-A, right? Coca-Cola. They say, no, if you turn it around and look at it from a mirror effect and you do this and you do that, you can see it says La Muhammad, La. Now I want to ask you a question. Were you asked by Allah to turn things around, to look at them upside down, to check them through a mirror and to look at them, and if they happen to say something, then it means it's blasphemous, it means it's this, it's that? Not at all. Not at all. Coke is bad for the health. Done. If you're not going to drink it, don't. I mean, I stopped drinking it from a while because of the sugar content, because it's a carbonated drink that's not so healthy. But once in a while, I still would drink it, you know, sometimes. You just need that little sip of cold Coke, subhanAllah. It doesn't make it haram. But I am telling you, yes, it might not be healthy, and perhaps you want to stay away from it, stay away from it. But don't come up with some weird ideas to say, look, if you were to look at it from the other way and turn it and do this. Recently, and if it's something clear cut where you know that it's not written in any language and I'm looking at it and they've written it only and solely in the Arabic language proper with the rules and regulations of the Arabic language, then indeed we have every right to say, look, these guys are intentionally or maybe unintentionally or for whatever reason they're blaspheming or they're creating trouble. Recently someone showed me, and not just one person, a few, someone showed me the Nike shoe. And they said, you know what, look underneath, it says Allah, very clearly. Now, if you look at it, it says Max Air. In proper English, it says Max Air. And initially, I actually thought, oh wow, this thing actually says Allah. But they turned it around. So naturally, when you're writing the M, it's going to look like the other part of Allah, that way around. And if you put an A, for example, the A is going to look like the Ha, that's that way there. So were you asked by Allah to turn things around and check what they look like and so on? They said, no, it's quite clear. Initially, I also thought, what's going on? But then I quickly realized when I spoke to several scholars, and they said, listen, this is the English language, this is how it's written. When you're writing in joining handwriting, or when you're writing it in a specific way, this is what it says. And the Muslims get so angry, but those are the same Muslims who at times don't read Salah, they don't even read the Quran, they don't engage in the dhikr of Allah, they don't even dress appropriately, they probably drink, they probably do so many things. That group also gets more excited about this little thing, which is, according to a certain language, properly written to say Max Air, for example, and they would make such a noise. Yet, had they just engaged in a small istighfar for the little that they're, for the sins they're doing, or their major sins sometimes, leaving their obligation unto Allah, and had they engaged in those obligations, it would be far more beneficial for them than to make a noise about these things. So it's just something I decided to say because a friend of mine sent me a little image this morning of someone whose chest was tattooed with Allah written on it, and subhanallah, the world started saying mashallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, and I'm like, gosh, this could be fraudulent, it could not be fraudulent, just to make someone famous, etc. It could be or couldn't be. If it is, it's a sign for them, not for the whole world. And if it was fraudulent, then we're all being, subhanallah, made a fool of. And this is why I say, if that was the way Allah wanted to prove that a religion is valid, then definitely we've lost. That's not the way Allah said.